Today, we're going to learn about 10 things confident people never do. Now, let's begin. Number 1, discount their worth. Just think about the world's most successful people. Billionaire CEOs, celebrated artists, people who have cemented themselves into the analogs of history. What do you have in common with all these incredibly successful individuals? Well, most people would say that you've got nothing in common, that these successful people have separated themselves from the rest of the herd, that they're somehow better suited for success than everyone else. But every time you put these people on a pedestal, you're doing something that confident people never ever do. You're discounting your own worth. You're assuming that you aren't capable of achieving the same success or accomplishing your own lofty ambitions. The truth is that most of these world-renowned people started out in the same position as you are right now. They looked up to other successful people, and they dreamt of following in their footsteps. But instead of assuming that they weren't good enough, these people found the courage to chase their dreams and make them a reality. That's why confident people never discount their own worth. When you genuinely believe in yourself, you can achieve just about anything. Number 2, demand attention. Confident people have no problem stepping into the spotlight, but they never demand attention from anyone. Why? Well, because they don't really need it. Truly confident people never derive their confidence from the world around them. You see, there are 2 types of confident people. The first type gathers confidence directly from their environment. When they feel admired and popular, then they get a sudden burst of courage and self-worth. They flourish under the spotlight, but this kind of confidence is only temporary. As soon as people stop paying attention to them, their confidence fades, and they start to feel just as insecure as they did before. But the second type of confident person doesn't need the spotlight to feel confident. Their confidence comes from their values, their goals, and achievements. They're proud of the individual that they are, so they don't really care what people think about them. Now, while Type 1 is constantly searching for attention, Type 2 focuses on their own progress. They concentrate on what's important to them instead of catering to the crowd. So don't rely on other people's approval to be yourself. If you want to build real confidence, then you have to find that validation from within. Number 3, undeserved titles. Confident people never overestimate their own expertise or claim titles that they haven't earned. Insecure people make this mistake all the time. They're scared that other people are going to look down on them, or that someone else is going to overshadow their accomplishments. So they start claiming titles that they don't deserve. In their mind, more titles means more respect. They think by saying that they're an artist, a writer, or an entrepreneur, that people will like them more, and that makes them feel better about themselves. But confident people never use titles that they haven't worked for, because they don't need to convince anyone but themselves. And they already know whether they've earned the right to hold that title. Many confident people avoid titles altogether. For example, a confident person might have published all kinds of stories and novels over the years, but they might rarely ever identify themselves as a writer. But it's not because they aren't proud of their hard work, it's just because they don't need to rely on titles or categories to establish their value. They know exactly what they've accomplished, and that's all that matters to them. Number 4, lie to yourself. Confidence doesn't mean you need to constantly build yourself up. You don't have to believe that you're always making the right decision or doing the right thing. Many people fall into this trap where their confidence depends entirely on their success. Their ego becomes so fragile that they have to lie to themselves to keep moving forward. They have to distort their self-image and ignore their mistakes, because admitting that they failed, that would be too much to handle. Truly confident people never lie to themselves or pretend that they're something they're not. Because confident people have the courage to honestly reflect on both their successes and their failures. They already know what kind of person they are, and they know that they have weaknesses just like everyone else. So when a confident person makes a mistake, they don't need to bend the truth. They can take a good hard look at themselves, figure out what went wrong, and make sure they do better the next time. Number 5. Running from self-doubt. Fear isn't always your enemy. Confident people know that better than anyone. They don't let fear stop them from accomplishing their goals or taking on new challenges. But that doesn't mean confident people ignore their doubts. In fact, confident people rarely let their fears go unnoticed. The trick is to understand why your fear is useful. Just imagine you're visiting a new city and your friend recommends a good place to have dinner. Do you have to eat at that restaurant, or could you go somewhere else instead? Obviously, you can eat wherever you want, right? Well, your fears are a lot like a recommendation. They give you advice about where to be careful or what risks to avoid taking. But you can choose to take that risk anyway. You shouldn't let your fears hold you back, but you should never pretend that they don't exist. Number 6. Require permission. Many people have wasted years waiting for permission to take action, but it's not anyone else's job to kickstart your life. It's your responsibility to make progress, and it's your responsibility to accomplish your goals. By asking for someone else's permission, you're not owning your own happiness. That's why confident people don't ask permission to act on their ambitions. They don't sit around wondering if they can or if they should. When a confident person wants something, they go out and do it, because they know that your own permission is all you need. Number 7. Make social comparisons. There's nothing wrong with being active on social media. In fact, many people use their strong online presence to make connections, find new opportunities, and strengthen their brand. But confident people never use social media as a way to make comparisons. They don't browse through other people's profiles wishing that their life were different or more exciting. They never let other people's accomplishments belittle their own. And in the same way, they don't use social media as a chance to brag about their own success. Many people try to capture this idealized version of their lifestyle. They want to show off or make other people jealous. But confident people don't let social media make or break their self-esteem. Number 8. Resort to narcissism. If you're a confident person, you know that there's a huge difference between confidence and narcissism. But many people struggle to separate one from the other, especially when you're trying to cover up deeper insecurities. One of the differences between confidence and narcissism depends on your self-image. Someone who's narcissistic thinks the world revolves around them, and they're terrified of looking like a failure. So they're constantly searching for ways to direct attention toward themselves and rub their success in other people's faces. That's because showing off proves to the world that they're strong and successful, not weak and helpless. Over time, this self-absorption evolves into this assumption that you're better than everyone else. Narcissists think they automatically deserve more, that their time is more valuable, and that they shouldn't have to work as hard to get what they want. But confident people never let that misguided superiority infect their work. They know that real self-esteem is built on a foundation of values and achievements. Having a strong foundation means you don't need to constantly reinforce your own ego. You're never scared of looking weak because you're already proud of the person that you are. Number 9. Stop making progress. A confident person never stops making progress. They're always looking for new ways to grow, new passions to pursue, and new opportunities to succeed. The secret is that confident people are setting new goals every step of the way. Most people set a few goals at the beginning of their journey, and when they finally reach them, well, then they stop pushing. They feel like they've already crossed the finish line, so they think, I guess I should just quit while I'm ahead. But confident people know that progress never stops. If you're passionate and ambitious, there will always be new things to get excited about. So don't ever stop yourself from moving forward. Number 10. Ignore constructive criticism. Not all criticism is helpful. In fact, most of the criticism that you'll receive throughout your life will be completely useless. There will always be people who just want to bring you down and attack you just to make themselves feel better. If you listened to every single one of those negative reviews, you'd never get anywhere. But some feedback is worth taking to heart. That's why confident people never let constructive criticism go unnoticed. If it's coming from someone you love, respect, or admire, listening to their advice is crucial for your happiness and your success. Because those people aren't looking for personal gain, they're not tearing you down for no reason. They're trying to help you. They want to show you something that you may not have noticed on your own. Confident people know exactly how valuable a second opinion can be, so they never turn away constructive criticism. Hey, thank you for watching, and be sure to subscribe because more incredible content is on the way.